Driving Culture Forward, this is HYPEBEAST Radio, reporting live from Paris for the launch of HYPEBEAST France. We're sitting here with Viktor Vauthier. Victor, how's it going?
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
I'm good, man. What about you guys?
Doing great, doing great. How you doing, Kev?
We're trying to brush up on our French, you know.
We need bonjour, that's what I was
bonjour?
like.
Yeah.
That's the beginning, guys. Bonjour, we have baguette, and we're pretty good then.
We've had enough baguettes, I think.
Paris, bonjour, baguette, we're good. There we go.
Yeah, I think
HYPEBEAST France.
Yeah, just the breakfast here. I think we've had so many baguettes. It's like coffee and bread.
Oh yeah, the bread is great here.
Great. So for our listeners out there, just go ahead and give some background information on what it is that you do, and then how you began doing it.
So my name is Viktor, and I'm a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
And my first introduction to photograph was looking at my dad's photo.
Mm-hmm.
I felt sometimes that he didn't realize that his photos were good, and he was just doing it because of his friends around and the style. I guess he was the 60s around, so he has this look, the hair, the clothes. I felt he already my dad felt that it was this culture going on, and he took those photos. And when I found his photo, he made me realize that he was telling a story. And I was like, oh my God, who's those people who are like, it felt to me that you could do the book with it, with this photo. So I was getting very excited. And so I went to him and said, what about this photo? And he said to me, oh, it's just my photo and some of my friends. And yeah. And he said, I did the photo with this camera. And it was kind of the object thing that he gave me the camera, that he was done with the photo. And suddenly I was like, wow, maybe I can do something like that. Maybe I can remember my era in taking photos of the people on my travels and what's going to happen around me, And I was like, maybe that's a good way to tell a story. And then I guess since then I was just carrying a camera, My really start with the photo. It was just having a little camera on me in my pocket all the time. Like really all the time having a camera in my pocket with films and just walking around. I guess it was London, it was Paris, it was New York, and just, I don't know, bring an energy to actually meet people, And it happened. To be honest with you, it just happened. I was in London and I would be there and I'd be in that store and it would come beans from Anti-Pop Consortium. And I would be like, oh my God, that's been Anti-Pop Consortium. And I was like, I'm from the south of France, like Anti-Pop Consortium was this hip-hop band. And I was like, wow, what is that guy doing here? And I went, I'm like, hey, man, I'm a fan, I'm French and I love what you're doing. I would love to take your picture. It's like 2005, 2006. So it felt as well that at the time when you come to someone to take a photo, or like it was not like as strong than it is now. Now we're living in this world of very much imagery, and maybe people want to control that. They're like, wait a minute, where's that photo going? And it's as crazy as it feels. 2005 wasn't like that. Really, like you could go and take. And even before, when I used to go in New York in the end of 90s, 98, 99, like really I was going to the New York Poets Cafe, sitting, it would be Mos Def, be like De La Soul, and I'm having my camera and I filmed them. They were just there, and I'll be doing that. Right. So I use this approach of being that guy, that French guy that don't really speak good English with that, as you can hear, strong accent. And the people, they react very nice to me, always, And this guy from Anti-Pop Consortium was like, yeah, man, let's do a photo, and have this crazy photo of him. Mm-hmm. And then it was an everyday thing. Mm-hmm. And I started working in that sneaker store as well. I was like, that was a very, I was like, if I'm there, what is the best place in London to be in that sneaker store? It was this place, Gloria's, in the Truman Brewery, like very famous sneaker store from like years ago. And I was like, if I'm here, they're gonna come to me, Right. They're gonna ask me that shoes.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be there. So I was like, here we go. That's a good London, a good spot. My little camera that's scaring anybody because it's so small, It's not like you have suddenly this guy, like it was small, and I was like a little Yashica or all of this stuff, and that's how I started doing photos.
When you first started taking photos, like who did you aspire to be? Like who were some of the people that you looked up to, like for photography?
There's that guy that is called John Stoddart. That was an English celebrity kind of photographer, but like a very cheeky as well, from the 90s. He was Dashno. It was, for the old one, it was of course Guy Bourdin. To me, I'm a French guy, so I should actually only say Guy Bourdin because he has kind of all. Yeah. You know Guy Bourdin, the photographer? He's French, from, I would say, maybe he's from the 70s, 80s, 90s. He's that really famous fashion photographer. And then of course Jürgen Teller. You know, when I start photos, I quickly realize about that the most important thing as an artist was to find your own style. It's even more hard today. But even back in the early 2000s, that's what I was feeling. Before being a photographer, actually I want to be an artist only. Okay, I was like, I'm gonna paint, I'm gonna do anything. But then I was like, my way to do it, as crazy as how much I wanted to be an artist, I was like, I'm gonna try things, I'm gonna do things, I'm gonna fucking skateboarding, I'm gonna do anything that I felt it was art. Yeah. And through these years, and because of my dad, I was having this camera, and I was taking photos, trying to be an artist, you know. So it was like, I actually didn't realize it was an art, and that was maybe the art, and I should do it. So I would take these photos and try to be this painter or this musician, but it was not happening. And I was like, okay, so I'm gonna start the photography, and quickly, with all the art I was starting, I was realizing the most important thing is to find your own style. And for example, for the painting, I liked it. I love it to paint. I love to be on the floor. Big, you know, but I was too inspired, you know what I mean? I was going Basquiat, I was going Kiefering, I was going to all my hero, you know what I mean? And he always felt to me that it wasn't right, you know? It was not that I was copying him, but I felt too much inspired. And luckily for me, doing all of the, hey, is Kenny there? Guys, Kenny Anderson is there. That's lucky us. Hey man. And so I really feel that in any form, even skateboarding, Kenny is there. Yeah. Your own style, you know, that is the most important, right? Is it? Yeah. I don't know. I felt that it was this, and I quickly tried to read about photographer, seeing what make them style, what kind of equipment they use, what things, and what was looking the most like how I feel I should do, you know. So looking, and like. Someone offered me that, so that, I'm talking about like early 2000, like 2001 or something. Someone offered me that John Stoddart. You know him? Do you know him?
John who?
John Stoddart.
No.
You know him? So I like that. I like that you guys don't know him because his photo, you should check.
Yeah.
He's just amazing. Another person with another photographer, but that was my texture, my light, the way I like it. So these are the guys that I was looking up for, you know, like, and you know, some people always say to me, do you like Terry Richardson? Yeah. Because it seems that, you know, and Jürgen Teller and these people, and what I like about them is that I feel they introduce, like Andy Warhol when he introduced that to make art is not about technique, it's about creativity and about how you're putting the thing together. It's not about technique. It's very important for me when an art is not taking as I love when a painter or someone drawing with an amazing technique, reality. I love that. It's incredible. It's I blow my mind. I'm like, how the fuck this guy is, you know, this guy painting and it's like super a photography. Real. Yeah. I have the most respect for that, and it's amazing. It blow my mind. But I like the fact that I can know that it's not only about technique. You can create art with nothing, you know, because that's the whole good thing about art, right? And so I wanted to feel something that was not with too much technique, you know. Yeah. So someone like Terry Richardson, not that he's not a good technician photographer, I won't say that, but I felt he bring the fact about he has this only Yashica camera, you know, that very famous T4, T5 Yashica. I think he proved something in shooting Sisley campaign with that back in the days, you know. So he will arrive, I guess, I'm just thinking about him arriving in the studio or whatever he set with all these models and all production company, and he arrived with this camera that is like that, that looked like a toy camera, and he's like, there we go, let's do it. So this, I like it a lot. That kind of make me very excited about it. I was like, okay, so really you don't need this huge team. You can just say, hey, find a girl or whatever and just stand there and I'll take a picture of you and you look this way.
Yeah.
So that's why I like Terry Richardson, but it was not my inspiration. It wasn't my inspiration. But Guy Bourdin was, and I mean, you guys know all these photographers.
Yeah. Well, do you remember the first photo that you took where you realized that you developed your own style? You know, something that like, you know, rang true to what you wanted to be as an artist?
Yes.
What was that photo?
I mean, it was more like a moment. I think it's about, I would say around 2005, I think. And it's funny, I mean, I'm going to play the romantic French right now, but it is the case, so I have to say it. Is when I met Ella. Basically, simply, I was already taking photos for years, but it's when I met Ella, and it's that thing that people say about when you met your muse. It happened. I mean, I have to say it, so it happened to me. And the way she looks and the way she was acting in front of me of the camera make me that I have nothing to do. I was like, I have nothing to do. I just do this and take the photo. She's amazing. She was wearing all these clothes, and we're in London, and I don't know. To me, it's nostalgic because it's before Instagram, before internet. You know what I'm saying? 2005.
Yeah.
Look, 2005 is not far, guys. You know it.
Yeah.
It's not that far.
But it is.
But it is, in what happened to this world, it is insanely far.
Yeah.
Think about it. 2027? Guys, what was going to happen in 2027?
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, 2005 is my 2000, you know. And back in the days, it was not, like when I met her way she dressed was special, you know, the way she looked. Today, people, sometimes I feel they dress in waking up, looking on Instagram and be like, okay, I'm gonna dress like this.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Back in the day, it wasn't existing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it was this thing, and I saw her, and I have this little camera, and we start taking photos just naturally, that I've been, you know, like liking each other and falling in love, you know?
Yeah.
And it was like a romantic kind of thing. And I really start finding my own style this way. I was like, this is going to be my style. My style is about, again, no more technique, just a moment. You tell a story, you say something about this. You like, what's memories, you know? What's exactly memories? Memories, for me, most of the time, is a picture. You know when you say, oh, I remember that skateboard?
Yeah.
I used to have that skateboard.
Just remember the photo.
Sometimes you remember the photo
Oh,
of
yeah,
you holding
always.
that skateboard that your mom took it, and you were like, yeah, for Christmas, I have my skateboard. You know what I'm saying?
And you explain back the memory, it's just a photo. You know?
Right?
Yeah.
And to me, I use the photo to make me comfortable to continue doing it. Because sometimes I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do it. It's this. I'm like, if I don't do it, who's gonna tell a story about these people that I love so much? Like, you know, because it's Ella that was the kind of first beginning, but then I met so many people through my travels, and like artists that I love. I have this thinking about the people who introduced me London. You know, when I arrived in 2005, like War to Mother, he was a graffiti writer. He's a graffiti writer, but he's a painter and tattooist, and he teach me English, introduced me to the cool people around. You know, like what's cool people is like the artists. Because I mean, I try the most I can to surround myself with the better energy possible. You know, positive. We have this little thing happen outside with Madrell before. That was the most random thing. This kid just came to me. He felt that he wanted to say hi, and maybe that he liked my photo or something. And he came. He was just, I don't know, whatever. Let's not talking about it. But it was just that crazy thing. And so to me, the most important is the energy. And when I arrived in London, these guys, they just let me be there and introduce me to these people. And I felt that it was always a moment, you know? So I'd be like oh my God, tonight, I would say to Ella or to the people, it was so good. We met those musicians, and then we went to this party. It was that actress there, and she talked to me, and I'm from the south of France, guy. You know, like, south of France is beautiful. It's probably the most beautiful place on earth to me, but back in the day, it was not much happening, you know what I mean? And I was craving things to happen to me, you know? And being in London and seeing these people, and I was like, what can I do? How can I be part of them? And then suddenly I was like, actually, to come back to the question of the inspiration, I forgot the most important one. Because I thought about fashion, I don't know why, because we hear maybe adidas stuff. But the actual most important was Ed Templeton and Patrick O'Dell. I love these guys. Guys, I love you. And I think Patrick O'Dell started a blog in 2001. That's a long time ago to having a blog on internet.
Yeah.
Right? And this is what happened, you know. And I was like going there. I was a fan back in 2004, 5, and I knew because of through skateboarding and stuff, I knew who he was, and I was like, oh my God, this is so good to go every day. Or I don't know if he was doing every day him, but I would go sometimes, and he had this big 30 pictures there. And his entourage was skateboarder and music. And I was like, he tell me a story.
Yeah.
How can I see what's happening with these skateboarders and this guy if I don't go to check his photo? And I was very excited. I was like, oh my God, I want to do the same. Oh my God, I want to do the same. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do the same because he's doing it. And then quickly I'm like, wait, you tell a story. So if you tell a story, you're a writer. If you're a writer, there's many writers. You can be the one who tells the story of London, at least of your entourage in London. And that's how I approached the photo as well. Because I was like, I'm going to shoot all the people that I appreciate what they do, mostly artists, musicians, stuff. And I'm gonna go to them studio and I'm gonna go talk to them and take pictures. And every time I would take a picture, particularly that I was in film, back in the days, I only stopped printing 2 years ago. But for like almost 12 years, I print everything. I have everything. I have 50,000 35. This is a true story. I have 50,000 35mm print. Is 6x4, is it in English? 50,000 in my house in the south of France.
So where do you sleep?
10 years of photo.
Yeah.
I have then I printed because Ella, she could knows about it. But
Can
I
you
have
walk around?
Yeah. And my parents as well, they hate me because they're in like a tati. You guys are not French, so you don't know tati, but there's like those famous big plastic bag. Anyway, like a plaid type of bag, and they're like big like this, like 2 meters, full of print. So all these pictures that I've been taking, I actually print them.
Yeah.
And I kept them because every time I look at them, here we go, my story. I have in my hand is an object, you know what I mean? I have it on my phone. I mean, how many times you lose your phone or break it or putting it in the water or lost it somewhere? They're just that print. It's an object.
Right.
And that was the main thing to me. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have these people that I love on this object. That will be our memories. So then, Madrel, if I take your picture in 20 years, I'll be like, hey, I'll be like, oh my God, you remember that was the first time we were in Paris and we met and it was HYPEBEAST France and that was it. And this is my biggest approach of the photo, I think, this way. And that's what happened with Ella because this is how I do it with her. I was like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. I'm gonna take a picture of her. But then I'm putting in my friends, and then luckily for me, I was around London models, my friend Grace, and many people, and graffiti writer, Sick Boy, Work Tomorrow, all this deface. And then we have this mission, you know, let's go tonight, let's go painting, come with us. And I'm like, ooh, this is exciting. I'm gonna go doing painting that is illegal with my film camera. I mean, I felt good. I felt like Dashno. Do you know Dashno?
Yeah, we know Dashno.
He's a big inspiration to me. I mean, I have the chance to meet him once only. Just say hi. It was very quick, so I cannot know him. I cannot say that I know him, but he was a big inspiration. And yeah, just meeting all these people, taking pictures, and yeah, souvenir.
Yeah.
Memories.
When I first discovered your photography, what stood out the most to me was that, you know, like you mentioned, your photos are very inviting. You know, you can feel that emotion, you know, and one of that emotion really being like, you know, love and romantic. can you explain like your process for like whether that be like working with muses or like working with like just models or like friends? Do you really need for like there to be a story in order for you to capture that photo?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think so. I think I don't know if I understand well, but I think that my photos are better when I have a good relationship and a feeling with the person. I totally agree that I can see the difference between my photo when it's happening too much as a work process maybe, or like something. I need a relationship, I need to share something. And photography, if you go in a very good mood, very happy, and people around you and the whole crew, everybody's really want to do it and having a good time and stuff, I think that when you look at the photo, it's going to look like this. If there is stress and things like that, and I think it's going to look like this too.
Right.
It's going to look like this day that was not happening.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying, I use a lot of films as well, like films, like nouvelle vague films, that's my biggest inspiration.
Yeah.
My dad, if he introduced me art, that's why he introduced me. He introduced me Brigitte Bardot, Jane Birkin, Serge Gainsbourg, Godard, Belmondo, and all of this stuff. That was Romy Schneider. That is my inspiration. Yeah. Looking at them pictures. So when I was looking at these pictures, I was like, I wanted to be the guy that's going to take the picture of the new generation of these people. So it could be pretentious to think that the people around me, they're going to be all huge stars.
Yeah.
But honestly, it happened. It's actually happening around me.
Yeah.
Like many of my friends, today they have all amazing things happening and being successful, or not even that, just being creative. And so when I take photo of Virgil Abloh or Alex Olson, or I feel they're going to be the Andy Warhol and whatever, Jean-Michel Basquiat of my era.
Yeah.
So it's important. I feel that it's important that I take those pictures.
So do you feel?
And then I keep my style as well.
Yeah. You feel like almost like a documentarian then?
Yeah.
Kind of making like a encyclopedia or.
This is exactly my idea of what I want to shoot photo was this. It was not commercial.
Right.
I was never wanted or did it for doing commercial. I didn't really make that much research about it. I wanted to be a documentarian. Like this is my favorite thing. So my days we go waking up, breakfast, take my bike in London. You need a bike, and go to anybody's studio that love me. So this Work to Mother studio. This guy Work to Mother. He's one of my best friends, and he's the guy who introduced me to London. And if you arrive somewhere and you don't know anybody, you need to be guided a little bit, and you need to. And he was there at the right moment, and we're like, hey, I'm Viktor, and he was this amazing painter, and it's important for me to document. I keep saying that a little bit, but you guys gonna cut it. But it's a lot of documentaries. It's very this. Like, I've been following this painter for like 10 years. So I have them when they started, kind of, Then I have them start to have people know about them and start things going around. And then I have them becoming quite famous.
Yeah.
And then I have them becoming huge. Look at Virgil. Virgil, man, it's amazing. I'm so happy to see that happening, And Alex and all of these guys, like Kenny was there before. I don't know, he's gone. They just launched his shoe, and and every time I'm like so excited, and I think I probably translate this in taking pictures from the time.
Yeah.
You mentioned you and Virgil were pen pals, like before you actually met him.
We've been, epistolaire friends.
Yeah.
I'm going to say in French, we are in HYPEBEAST France, guys. So we have this epistolaire relationship with pen pal for about, I don't know, I wish Virgil was there to say, but I would say 4 years, like 5 years. Before then anything happened, before Bianca Chanon, and just, I love it. I love Virgil, man, because he's it's everything seems so easy with him, you know, and it is the perfect example of hanging with someone creative that's gonna give you such a good energy, and then you almost feel that you're ready to anything, you know. I feel that when you're surrounding, I always say about people that have energy, you know. I feel that I would say some people they have a blue energy and some people have a red energy. So they like having this blue energy that is contagious, you know. So you become, after talking with Virgil, I got to do my things and I feel that I'm better.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, wow, yeah, you know. Jason Dill is amazing for that. Every time I have spent time with him in LA, it's like always. If I would spend like hours with him, and then I would walk out, even if it has nothing to do with our conversation, I would be ready to. I'll be having ideas. You know, it's the creativity is contagious. You know, if you, I early knows that, so I try to be always surround these guys. So being a photographer, wanted to be surround them, to hear them stories, and having a camera in your hand. This is it. This is me. You know, this is what I'm supposed to do.
So talking about like, you know, you feeling that your best work comes when you have that relationship developed.
Yeah.
And then like going from being, you know, pen pals with Virgil, you know, to shooting for Off-White, and then how like similarly doing the same with Bianca Chandon, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Like how did you first meet Alex Olson?
Same.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same. I mean, Alex is one of these person that I met through something that happened for me for years, which is, again, same thing. It's all around the same conversation we have in here, but through the years I realized that everybody that I really like them art. So for anything, I'm not solely fashion, it can be anything. I consider skateboarding art. So a skateboarder, a painter, a musician, an actor, a director, anyway. Every time that I will think about someone and I will like the art and I start reading about it, I will be, you know, reading about it and be interested and be like, wow, this is amazing. I like what he does. Like Virgil, like Alex, I've been meeting them. It's so weird, like it's really happening. You know, like we say about The Secret, the book, and the law of attraction. You know about this law of attraction?
No,
you don't know about this?
Definitely. I mean, yeah.
The law of
definitely
attraction is the law of attraction. It's
Two
like
things
you
will come
attract
together.
people. You know,
Yeah.
if you want something, you make it happen. You visualize it, and you. I mean, I don't want to be one of these guys say that again, but it's really the way I did it. And Alex, you know, back in the day, the Lakai fully flared. Do you remember that Spike Jonze film, skateboarding
Yes,
film?
yeah.
You know, fully flared.
Right.
Girl and Chocolate.
Yeah.
Spike Jonze directed.
Spike
and,
Jonze is a legend. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I saw those films, and he was again even over the skateboarding himself. The whole thing, because a skateboard video means graphic design, the board, the clothes, fashion, the way they dress, video, because you make a video to promote the brand, the music, you know, it means he has all the arts in there, just in one skateboard video. You know? So, and Alex was one of these guys that I don't know, man, I just like him. I just like his style, his way of skating, the way he dressed. I would go that way as well. Like everything, you know, I was just liking him, and we would check him out, you know, and read about him and reading his interview, and you know, just like what he does and just following. Till the day I think it was like he has his Tumblr, and if I remember well, he posted one of my pictures there, and saying, because back in the day, his Tumblr, his page become something that people will ask questions about it, which was great, by the way. I love that it turns like this way. But before, it was also a visual thing, and he would post his stuff. No, he would post people's stuff, and because he's very he can do anything really. Like he's a photographer, amazing. He's a collage and all of this stuff, and he posted one of my pictures, and I was like, follow him on Tumblr or something, and I was like, and I think I wrote to him because I couldn't believe it that he can know what I was doing, you know. I was like, oh man, thanks for the shout, thanks to show my work. And then we start talking. Like that was the beginning, and yeah, just keep talking and sharing how we'll talk about French movies, French music, French fashion, try to show him my world, and he would introduce me painter and designer and the thing that he likes. And I crave that. I never have enough of talking about all of that, and discover new talent. And I love that. This is my world. I just want to know about this stuff. And we start being friends, talking about art, just simply this, till the moment he called me and say, hey man, I'm having this project and I want you to do the photo. Would you want to do it? And I was like, this is Alex Olson asking me. He knows pretty much every amazing photographer in the world, even in the fashion world. He knew everybody. And I was like, yeah, I'll do this. I'm gonna take your pictures for your whatever you're doing. I don't care. What are you doing, by the way? And I was like, yeah, I do photo. I don't care. And it was just, I like what he does, so I was like, I'm doing it. This is how we met, and this is how we start the thing.
And photography-wise, what did you feel that you were going to bring to the table at that moment, when Alex approached you and said, hey, I have a brand, I want you to be the photographer of it? Like, what did you envision?
To be honest, I felt that it was a lot of his vision, if I can be totally honest. He came to me because of my style of photography, and I guess he liked what I was doing, But when we start talking, I bring a vibe, like it was my friend Michelle Kisser. She's this model friend I had known for like almost 10 years, that she has this very special look. So I introduced her to him and stuff, but like I remember him saying something very important, that it was about do the reverse of everything that you should be done. If I come to you, Madral, today and I'm like, what do you think about my style today? If I come to you and I say that, be like, what do you think? So if you say to me, man, that is a cool style, I like it, it's cool, man, you dress with a red jumper and an army green jacket, it's cool, I would probably change. I would probably go back and change my clothes. I'd be remove that jacket and stuff and putting something, I don't know, a purple jacket with a yellow t-shirt, and you'd be like, hey, Madral, what do you think about my style? You'd be like, man, this is weird, dude. This is crazy. What are you doing in there? What are you trying to do? And I'll keep dressed like that.
Yeah.
That's not what Alex told me, but that was the actual thinking about it. Do the reverse of what should be done, Yeah. Because who decides what is good, what is not? Is it HYPEBEAST deciding, guys, what's good or what's not?
No. We're just putting it out there.
Yeah, so this is it. So you have to take this risk, of presenting yourself to the people and saying, this is me, guys, I'm dressing like this. Do you like it? I don't know, I think this is cool. Nobody's dressed like me right now, guys. You all dress like that, and I'm not. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So in this thinking, we went to try to do what was not done. So Bianca Chandon, Alex, and
and I feel like the partnership really made sense. Your photos being like very romantic, and like Bianca Chandon's direction also being very romantic with the lover sweater.
Yeah.
Which is like everyone knows that when they've seen that before. Yeah. And then that leading to your documentary, Paris is for the lover. So I mean, like it makes sense.
Yeah, I guess it's the French lover, French way. I don't know. Yeah. It's I don't know about the romanticism, but like definitely the back in the days,
Yeah.
Like I'm like not really into too much. I kind of like modernity and the fact that we can do so many stuff today. I'm aware about it, and it's so lucky that last night I was in Paris, today I was in London, and tonight I'm in Paris. So in 24 hours I went to Paris and to London twice, like be able to do those things. But for art and stuff, I feel that the back in the days, it was more what I feel close to. So that's why film camera, that's why I like in the 90s, why I like in the 70s, and all of this stuff,
So yeah, I think we covered just about everything. So thank you for dropping by, Vic, and we look forward to seeing what you have in store for the future.